Hi, my name is Phoenix, and this is TFL Design. And today I'm going to take you on a little food tour. I'm going to be having an omakase and an assortment of other foods, I guess. Usually the appetizers sort of like cleanse your palate and get you ready for what's to come. So the order in which they serve the food is very important. The first appetizer that they served was the buri shabu shabu, which is like a yellowtail fish. The second one was a bonito katsuo. It was pretty tasty. This third dish was monkfish liver. Monkfish, if you Google it, are like pretty weird looking fishes. Steamed egg custard and cod milt. Cod milt is basically fish sperm sac. So yeah, the last time I had this in this restaurant, it was served, I think, in a colder dish. It didn't have the egg. With the egg, it's very filling. The next dish was a pine mushroom soup to sort of like clear the palate again. I had also asked for tea at this time because I didn't know that they were going to serve a soup to clear the palate, but I definitely needed something in between to really clear that out. They also gave us these tiny little napkin towel things so that we can, clean our hands in between. They gave us two different types of ginger to clear our palates in between every sushi piece that we're given. The one closer was sweet, and the one further away is sort of the regular one. This is my second time in this restaurant. The name of the restaurant is Shizuku. It's moderately priced. If you know omakases, you know they're super expensive, and I would say this is one of the cheaper ones that is like an actual omakase that you sit down for 2 hours in. The first sushi piece we got was the shark skin flounder. The second sushi piece was the Japanese barracuda, and the texture was like very different. I loved this one. Next was the fresh salmon roe. They really popped in your mouth and it was super fresh. Next was the Japanese bluefish. Next is the lean bluefin tuna. After that, it's one of my favorites, the fatty bluefin tuna, basically like the fattier portion of the tuna fish. Super, super soft, melts in your mouth. Then came the uni, which is sea urchin. After that, the mackerel had a very interesting like jelly-like paper on top of it. It's actually made of kelp or seaweed. And the little flower addition really made the taste very interesting, very floral. And after that came scallop. Then came the tuna belly and pickled radish hand roll. Next came their signature dish, which contained the monkfish liver again, but it came in a warm puff pastry. So it's like sweet on the outside, savory on the inside, which is like very different. Then came a little tamago, which is like a little egg cake thing. The dessert was a grinded walnut that been reshaped into a walnut and pears. And that is a Japanese maple leaf, not a Canadian one. You can see they gave the entire menu in this really nice paper that came directly from Japan. Next on my food adventure, I went to a restaurant that served like Alaskan king crabs and lobster and stuff, and this place is very expensive because if you know anything about these guys, they're super expensive, they're hard to fish. A lot of fishermen die every year trying to get these guys in giant boats. And yeah, they kind of bring it to you and show you what it is you're going to eat. These are the little guys that are the chosen sacrifices for my meal. And so we ordered a little bit of fish. And this giant mound was that lobster you saw earlier, deep fried in a kind of salty egg batter. Because it's a messy type thing to eat with your hands, they give you gloves for you to eat. And this is the crab mound. It is huge, it is extremely decadent, and the oil really does seep out of your pores once you start eating this. So I do not recommend eating this often. Plus with the price tag, you probably won't anyway. Let's just say it reaches 4 digits. And lastly, here's the fried rice made from, I guess, the scraps of the crab that didn't make it to that giant mound. After this extremely salty and deep fried meal, we went for bubble tea in a place that contains a whole bunch of bubble tea places in one area. I assume the competition is fierce. This is what I ordered, which is something I never had before. It basically has like cream cheese and like pink salt in it. This one's not food related, but I did buy something to add to my perfume collection. The last Chanel perfume I bought is sort of like old school, so I wanted a more modern smell from this brand, and out of all of them, I enjoyed this Chance Tendre. I can't pronounce it, but it's really nice, it's really mature, it's pretty strong. I got the Parfum because that's the stronger one rather than the Toilette one. And the bottle's super pretty, so, you know, I'm collecting this for the bottles too. Now back to food, I had found a place that sort of sells like wholesale meat. They used to be a supplier just for restaurants and stuff, but after COVID happened, they sort of sold to everybody. And all these pizza box looking things are actually boxes and boxes of meat and poultry at an incredible price. Like, they have like really good meat cuts and everything for a very reasonable price. It's, you know, comparable to like Costco prices. So I don't think I'll be buying meat from regular grocery stores anymore. I'm just gonna come here and get my large pizza box filled. All of this was about less than 200 Canadian. And now jumping back to fashion, did you know Winners, which is like the Canadian TJ Maxx or whatever, has like luxury brands in it? I'm seeing like Fendi, YSL, Gucci, Versace, like jewelry in their section. It's kind of weird. Our luxury stuff going on sale because the economy is bad, or are these places upgrading? I don't know. Well, that's all for this week. This is me trying on black clothing as always, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.